Hey YouTube. Well, I'm here to talk about Queen Sugar, episode 2. I don't know if this is actually episode 2 or not. I mean, this could be the premiere part 1 and part 2 because they played one part last night. But for now, we'll just call this episode 2. It opens up. Okay, Nova is discovering that the story she wrote about these teenagers protesting at this ball game, which is right up her alley. She wrote an elaborate story about what they were protesting. The paper changed the story. The editor changed the story, made it of just bad kids behaving badly. And they buried it on the back page. Of course, she didn't like that. She confronts the editor. Okay. Next thing happens, Vi gets a great offer to... She's been having her pies at this supermarket. I don't know if it's the Piggly Wiggly or not, but it's big for their town. This supermarket, she's had her pies there, and they've been selling very well, right? So the manager of the store offers her a deal. He said, "I will put your pies on a front display, but I have to have more pies." So she said, "I'm going to need you to double your our order." This is a lot for her. She's making these pies at home in her oven, right? And so that there's more drama there. We'll get to it in a few minutes. But she says yes. She'll make more pies, get her front display, and she wants to fulfill her dreams. You know, Vi, she says she's almost 60. She's my age. She's almost 60, and there's no more time to waste. This is her opportunity, and she's going to take it. Right? Charlie meets with the black farmers, gathers them all at the Piggly Wiggly. Not the Piggly, I just said Piggly Wiggly. Not the Piggly Wiggly. It's called the High Yellow, the restaurant where Vi has been the manager for a while. Okay? So she meets with the black farmers there, and she tells them that your discounted rate is secured for the next 5 years. This is what they want to hear. This is important for their farms. So they're all celebrating her, right? Meanwhile, old Sourpuss is there also. That's Remy. He's the Sourpuss. He's always raining down on everything. But he's saying, "Oh, you're gonna cheat your own people. You're gonna cheat your own people. That's what it is now. You're gonna sell them out to laundry." Well, how is she selling them out to laundry? They've been caning with laundry. They've been milling with him for years. That's all they ever known. So how is it any different that he owns this one too? But Charlie's not letting anybody know. Now, this is not a well-kept secret. Because Remy knows. Ralph Angel knows. Of course, there's several. I think Nova knows. Everybody knows the business. So how's she going to present that the laundries are not involved in this company? I don't know. But she's up to her. Forget my little dog in the background. Poor baby. He's still struggling. Okay. So he tells her, yeah. He's all, I don't think that man is the right man for her because she's an ambitious woman. She has to be free to make decisions. My mouth is not moving with the camera. Anyway, why is my camera acting funny? Anyway, so he tries to throw a wet blanket on it. Ralph Angel lifts her back up, and she has this plan where she's going to get into this laundry business. Now, this 1% apparently is very important. I guess that would include her in board meetings and things. But now I don't know about this Charlie because she has made reference to. I guess because I moved the camera over here. I changed the angle so because I'm chasing the light. I'm in the light. Hold on. Well, okay. Let's do it like this. Okay, so I'm so easily distracted, people. Charlie is involved with this guy, Jacob, right? Now, it's just a flirtation at this point. I don't know if they actually did anything before. I don't remember from last season. But Charlie made some reference to he's part of the plan. Because Ralph asked her basically, are you seeing this laundry cat, right? And she said, if I'm doing my job, yeah, he's getting weak over me. So I hope they're gonna make her a kind of character. If this guy Jacob, if he is sincerely falling for her, I hope they're not gonna let her just use him for her own purposes. Now, if he is a real Landry and he's trying to work her as well, then that'd be fine. You know, all is fair. But I don't want to see her become a type of person who just uses someone, particularly plays with their emotions to fit her purposes. But if I don't know how much, she only owns 1%. He's an actual Landry, so I don't know how much percentage he has in the company. That could be part of her plan. If those two hooked up, she would move from 1 to, I don't know, 10 or 20. All right. Okay. Hollywood gets his big paycheck. I thought he'd already gotten the money back. I guess they went to Italy just on their own. But he gets his big check that his settlement from when he was working on his rig, right? But Vi doesn't want to use this money foolishly. She wants to build her business. As she says, this is her time. So he wants to go shopping and she wants to go to work. Okay, so next thing, all hell's breaking loose with this girl trying to make these pies. Now, she is stressing herself out. And I think that one of the things with her lupus is she's not supposed to, overwork or get stressed out. She's stressed out because she's trying to make this double order in her oven in her house. Now, that would be a good thing for him to buy. Have a big bowl tied around a big oven delivered to the house. That's what she really needs, is an oven. Anyway, so the oven breaks. She's hired a girl to work with her. They're making these pies in her kitchen, but her oven breaks down, right? So she gets an idea. Okay, we got to get these pies done. We got a week to get them done. So she goes down to the High Yellow, where she still works, and start making the pies there. And they're almost finished, right? But then the manager, I guess he is the real High Yellow. He's High Yellow. I think his family actually owns the place and handed it down to him. He comes in and runs her out the kitchen. Said, no, you're not doing your side business here. Get out. She said, well, if I get out, I ain't coming back, you asshole. She got one more option. Now, she gets stressing herself because she's so involved in it, trying to do it all by herself. She goes to the church. Now, Vi has fallen out with the church at some point. She used to be involved, from what I can tell. And she's fallen out with the church, right? Some of these, you know how these church women are. They're always mad about something, right? So Vi goes down there. She got to bow down and kiss this woman's ring. Whoever, I don't know if she's the head of the usher board or the mother's board, but this woman and Vi have had a history, and Vi has walked out on them. She ain't been going to their services no more. But she has to ask her, can she use the kitchen? The woman balks. Oh, why should you be using the church's kitchen? And she said, well, I was thinking of making a donation, 10% of my profits. Oh. And the woman gives her the keys. You know, it's all about money in the church. And that could be legitimate. I mean, churches need money. They got to operate. Anyway. Charlie sees the video. Come here, baby. You calm down. You little rascal. That poor baby. Well, it looked like his knot on his nose is going down, but he's still got this thing where he's making this noise like a hog. But the thing is going down. I can see his eyes good and everything. I don't know. I'll keep you posted with him. Anyway. Okay, Charlie sees this video. She's watching television, and this video is gone, I guess, viral online, and now it's made it onto the television. She sees this story. She says this image of this cop beating some black kid. She actually had that leaked. Her private investigator caught the video somehow, and now they've leaked it to the public. So this is going to ruin this cop who's already under suspicion, right? But what you don't realize is Micah sees this thing as well, separately. And he has he doesn't have a meltdown like he did originally when the dude had abused him, but it's emotional for him. Something she hadn't considered. Okay, Nova confronts her editor about the way he butchered her story. He says you need to tone it down a bit. You're becoming like some black activists here, and it's hurting our circulation. Okay, so she takes it to heart. Her departure from the paper is not an instant thing, right? There's several instances that leads up to her departure, because she's still trying to mull over this offer she's gotten from New York, which I would have jumped on, but perhaps they're going to develop Nova as an international writer now. Perhaps they'll make her successful, which would be great. Apparently, she's a very talented writer. She confronts him. Okay. Next thing she does, she calls all her girlfriends together. I think there's about 6 or 7 of them. All the girls got together, and she wants to ask their opinion because she's thinking about leaving the paper. Half the girls are saying, oh my goodness, you're going to give up your security, chasing some dream. And the other ones say, we support you no matter what you decide to do. Some people have, limited, small ideas. They rather her just stay on the paper and be secure where she's at. But she's considering it. She hasn't made a decision yet. Right? They come to the conclusion, we support you. We support you. We just want you to do what's best for you. Right? Somehow or other, she needed to just vent with her girlfriends. Micah is obsessed with going to public school. Now, from what they said last week, Micah has got like 1.5 years left in school. And for the first time, he's been exposed to all black people. For his whole life, he's been in private schools, good schools, expensive schools. But he's always had to play that role of being the only black kid in a lot of events. I'm sure there are a couple more black people there, but generally speaking, he's going to all white schools because he's going to these good private schools. Well, he wants to go to a public school. He wants to interact with other people like himself. This has become an obsession with him. They've gotten him a good camera. He's been taking pictures of black people, particularly the protesters, these young people standing up. He got excited by that, took lots of photographs of it. I guess I can skip ahead a little bit further. At some point, first of all, she says no. He tries to enlist his father in convincing her that it's best for him to go to public school. Father tries to help, but Charlie is running this, and she says, no, you're not going to no public school. Particularly, she's still holding resentment about that thing that happened to him where this cop put a gun in his mouth. So she don't want him mingling if it's unnecessary. But later on, she wanders into his room. She sees all these pictures he's taken of the protesters and regular black people and so forth, and sees that he wants to connect with other black people. He doesn't want to be the only black kid going forward, right? Which is smart because he's going to be going to college and so forth, and he needs to set himself up with the diverse crowd. I don't know what kind of school he'll go to, but the time is coming. So when she sees these pictures, and he explains what it's like to always be the only black kid in class, she buckles and changes her mind. She said, okay, we'll try it. Anything goes wrong, but we will try it. It's 1.5 years, so I guess that's 2 semesters. All right, next thing happens. Okay. Okay, on this episode and the last episode, Blue is acting out. He misses his mama, but not only that, he's just growing up. And Ralph Angel is beginning to wonder if he can actually do this, because being a parent, I'm sure there's rough periods, and they've been going through a rough patch because Blue is getting his independence. When his father tells him to do something, he resists, and he even talks back to his father. There's one scene where they are in a store and Hollywood wants to spend some of his money, right? So he goes out and buy him a new suit and things. And he tells Blue, get yourself some tennis shoes. Get a couple of pair. And so Blue starts picking up all these shoes, but Ralph doesn't want him to have shoes because he's been acting a damn fool. So he don't think it's the right time to reward him, right? So then he doesn't hit him in the store, but he gets angry with the kid in the store. Security comes around and all that stuff. And Blue ends up winding up on timeout. So he takes him home, puts him in timeout. There's a touching scene towards the end where he comes and asks his dad his timeout over. He apologizes for acting the way he's been acting, and they have an intimate moment at the sink. So those two have made up. Okay. Next thing happened is Ralph's PO shows up. Ralph is still on parole. You remember he does some stupid crime, ended up in prison. And he's been on parole, but he's been doing all these things he's supposed to do. So the PO comes and says, you know what, there's a program where I can actually get you off parole in the next 3 months. Right? Instead of, I think he had a year and a half left. He said, hell yeah, I'll do it. I want to do it. Yeah, what do you want me to do? And then the men say kind of separately, you know, we have a lot of young guys who have not committed violent crimes, who needs a break. Maybe you can hire some of them on your farm when the time comes. Ralph doesn't seem all that enthused by that. He wants a clean break. Just like me, you know, I went to prison a whole lot of times. And when I got clean, got myself together, I wanted a break, a clean break. Now, a lot of people got out of prison, drug addicts, went through a program, and then ended up working for the programs. And I could have got work like that. You know, I could have been a counselor. But I didn't see that that was healthy for me. For me, I needed a clean break from the old life. So this is the kind of thing I think that's going through Ralph's head. Because, you know, even though he's a good guy and everything, he's going to be revisiting elements that he ran into in prison. But none of that is spoken out loud. I'm just guessing at what he's thinking. The PO doesn't seem to make that. It's not a prerequisite. He doesn't have to do it. So he's kind of treating it as a separate thing. It would be good if you would do it. Right? Charlie meets Jacob on his boat. So far, all I can see is this boy, Jacob's nose is wide open. He is falling for Charlie. My memory will not serve me. Did they actually have an encounter, a physical and sexual encounter? I don't remember if he kissed her or something last thing, but his nose has been open so far in these 2 episodes. And if he is sincere, I don't want to see the guy hurt. If he's trying to work her, then of course, she got to get him first. We know Sam Landry is the devil, but we're not clear about what Jacob's motives are. But his father left him a boat, whatever, and he wants to toast their business deal on the water. That was his daddy passed that tradition. She smiles at him. She still seems to be leading him on, but not jumping into the pool, shall we say. After that, there's a strange scene. Because Charlie's coming out of a bar. She had a drink with Ralph Angel. She's coming out of this bar, and she gets in her car, and her car will not start. The battery is dead. Up jumps this guy in the window. She hasn't got out of the car to check it out or anything. She just knows the car won't start. He comes to the window, and he knows what's wrong with the car. It sounds like your battery's dead, right? So he fixes the car, her SUV or something like that. I think she's an SUV. And then he is being flirtatious with her. Now, why would they introduce another man? Charlie's already got Remy on the line, and she's got this dude, Jacob, on the line. So now they're going to introduce another man? So this man likes her. First he walks away. He's a little gentleman, introduces himself. Now, my suspect, maybe this is one of Laundrie's plots. Because why did the damn car not start? I mean, did it just die right there by itself? Or did somebody already tamper with the car? Perhaps remove the cable from the battery? Maybe the car was sabotaged and this meeting was plotted or planned. Because I don't know why Ava DuVernay, DuVernay? I don't know why they would introduce another man. I mean, Charlie, I mean, she's cute and everything, but goddamn, 3 of them? Anyway, so we don't know what's going on with him, but he's a gentleman, walks away, then he walks back and asks her to take his phone number. What if I don't call? Then you don't call. All that flirting. He's a good-looking guy, Latin guy. Okay. Okay, Charlie has been working with this white lady, right? The white lady is the private detective. She's the one that got the video and released the video of this cop who was one of her enemies. And she's getting dirt on the laundry. She says Sam Laundry has been swimming in debt for the last couple of years. She said, well, Charlie says, well, that's strange. How can he buy Queen Sugar if he's swimming in debt, if he's got financial problems? Because Charlie makes some money on this sale also. You know, it was a buyout. But the woman said he'd been swimming in debt. I guess he gets add on more debt. But the woman, somehow or other, she is positioned where she can do something. She can get information on the laundries. So I don't know how she's doing that. I don't know if she's part of she works for the laundries, or how she fits in where she's able to get this information. But Charlie has got a spy in the laundry organization. Okay, Vi, she gets emotional when she comes into the store. Her pie's not on display. And she gives this little speech. She goes off to a corner and gives this little speech to Hollywood about how it's her turn. She will not be pushed to the back anymore. She's 60 years old, and there's no more backpedaling. And then she's virtually in tears because she's been working herself to death trying to get this order done, right, in a week. They had the pies there. I don't think this was any slight by the management. The manager is not there. The pies are stacked up, but they're not on the display. My guess would be they were going to be on the display, but they hadn't gotten to it yet. But Vi goes in. She asks the young man. He says he'll call the manager, but they take the family starts moving the pies. Vi starts them, and then they start helping her put the pies on display where they're supposed to be. I don't think it was any messy move there. The pies were right by the thing. They just hadn't changed them out. Okay. When Nova overhears them talking, did I already say this? Sometimes I jump around. When Nova hears Vi talking to Hollywood about her fulfilling her dreams, about getting up in age and not compromising anymore, she gets motivated. Right? And she goes and she quits her job. And I believe that's where it ends. Okay, I hope I didn't go on too long, people. I'm excited about this series. I mean, some people say, listen, if you're going to do current events, you shouldn't review things and whatever. It's all in fun. I like these shows. I like this show, Greenleaf. And I like Empire most of the time. So, this is the show for now. Okay, I hope y'all don't mind. Later.